Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about configuring IPsec tunnel between CiscoIOS router and a FortiGate VM. Before we jump into the VPN configuration, I have to talk about a couple of points. The first point is that this video will be a little bit different. The reason is that I would like to set up the lab before going to the configuration of the VPN and to show you how you can set up your lab and prepare your lab, because many guys and many students asked me that how we can prepare the lab, those who are not really familiar with the FortiGate configuration in GNS3 environment. The other point is that this is going to be a classic CryptoMap native IPsec configuration. We are not talking about modern technologies like VTI or let's say IKE version 2. It's just IKE version 1 CryptoMap configuration that you usually even do on from CiscoIOS to CiscoIOS. Okay, so let's prepare our lab here. I have on the firewall security devices in my GNS3. First of all, I'm using GNS3 2.12 and I have both appliances installed. If you have question about how we can install ASA, Cisco ASA V or FortiGate VM into GNS3 based on the GNS appliances, you can go to the GNS documentation, or I'm going to make a video later about that as well. For now, it's already installed, so I will just insert one Cisco, no, sorry, not ASA V. I will insert the FortiGate VM, and on the routers I will insert one iOS V and another one here. Okay, so the middle one I will name it as internet. It's going to be our transport network. It's going to simulate that. So I will just change the symbol to a cloud. Right. And here I will connect it to port 1 on FortiGate, and I will insert another Ethernet switch and one cloud. And the reason for that is that I want to simulate, and I will show you how, host, my laptop will be simulated for this cloud, and I will make a loopback in order to access the GUI of the FortiGate through this cloud from my own laptop browser. And you will see how it works. It's pretty cool actually. So port 2 to Ethernet 1, and from here I will go to configure. So as you can see, Ethernet 8 here, that's my target Ethernet, and I will show you what Ethernet 8 is. We'll connect it here. So if I go to my change adapter options here, I have a couple of NICs here, network interface cards, and as you can see I have a couple of VMware virtual NICs and Wi-Fi, but the point is I have one Ethernet 8 which is a Microsoft KM loopback adapter that you can make it easily on Windows 10. And this is a loopback interface that you can assign an IP address to it, that I have already assigned an IP. As you can see, 10.10.10.10/24, and the gateway is 10.10.10.200, which will be assigned to the FortiGate. So why I did that? Because if I go to my CMD and I do ipconfig, I will see the details of all the network interfaces, and there you go. Here, Ethernet adapter 8, I have this Ethernet adapter up and running, this loopback IP address. with the static IP that I just assigned it. So what I have to do, just make it a little nicer here, I just change the name of the cloud to, let's say, me. This is simulating me. And also change the symbol to probably a computer. Okay. Let's spin up the FortiGate first. Start. And I go to console. This is a FortiGate VM, as you can see, 5.6 appliance, which I have inserted, and you have to get the image of the VM, it's of the FortiOS itself from FortiGate. You can get you can download and register and download the trial version. So this is my FortiGate. Before we do everything, I just want to make sure that the license is okay and it's trial, and I can have minimum firewall functioning. So I do get system status, and as you can see, evaluation license expires Saturday, June 16. So today is 1st of June, so it starts from today for 16 days, and license status valid. That's a very good point. Okay, so we just assign here. I'm gonna put my IP addresses in the, write it here to make it easier to read. 10.10.10.200/24. This is the IP address of my gateway, which is port 2 on the FortiGate, right? And this is Ethernet 8, right? I will have 10.10.10.10/24 as the loopback, which represents my laptop here. Okay, so let's configure this port 2, this IP address on port 2 FortiGate, that we can ping it and we can start the GUI on FortiGate. Okay, just a second. So config system interface, edit port 2, and I can do set IP 10.10.10.200/24, set access, set allow access, HTTPS, HTTP, SSH, telnet, and ping. And that's enough. So if I do show system interface question mark, as you can see, port 2 is configured with the right IP address, the status is up, and even if I do show system interface, I can see the type as physical, allow access, so it should be good to go. Now on my own laptop, I will ping the FortiGate. Hopefully it works. Yes, it works. So I can ping the FortiGate from my laptop, and if I go from a browser, HTTP 10.10.10.12, yeah, this is the GUI of the FortiGate. Admin is the default password, the default username, and the password is nothing default. So as you can see from my laptop, this is very cool actually. From my own laptop, I can connect to my GNS3 environment and to the FortiGate GUI, and it's pretty amazing to have this feature. And this is a FortiGate v5.6, which is a quite new build, and there are a lot of features available here. You have SD-WAN. We are not going to talk about them. We are just going to set up a simple VPN in next video. So for now, I will go to interfaces, and as you can see, port 2 is already configured. I will go to, before that, I will go to port 2 edit, and I will name it as LAN. Okay. And port 1. Okay, before I configure port 1, let's spin up this router, that while we are working on the FortiGate, these two routers come up and we can configure them. So let's assign a kind of a public IP address to this point-to-point interface. Let's say 100.100.100.0/24, right? And on the routers, the Cisco router side, which simulates for us the internet cloud, we will put 1, and on the FortiGate we will put 2. And also here you can put let's say 80. It's simulating the public IP address on your internet, right? 0/24, and again this will be, this interface gigabit 00 will be 1, and gigabit 00 on your router will be 2. Okay, let's see if this router is already, yeah, it's already boot up, so we will come to it later. Let's boot up this one, start and console. It's gonna boot up. While it's booting up, I will name this as router 1, and also we will assign a loopback interface here to simulate a LAN, loopback 1, which will be, let's say, 192.168.00/24 or /1. This is going to simulate our LAN. Okay. Right now, we go back to FortiGate GUI, and we go to port 1, edit. The alias will be WAN, and IP address will be 100.100.100.2, right? Yes, /24, 250.250.250.0. We allow ping, HTTP, SSH, that's cool, okay. And we have two interfaces up and running on FortiGate. Now let's jump into this interface, this router, the cloud internet router, which is simulating the internet cloud for us. So very quickly, conft hostname internet interface gig01 IP address 100.100.101 255.255 0, no shot, and we should be able to ping the FortiGate. And yes, the ping is successful. That's very good. Let's configure the other side, the point-to-point link between the internet cloud and the CiscoIOS router, router 1. We go to conft interface gig00 IP address 80.80.80.1 255.255.250 and no shot. And we jump into router 1. Very quick. Okay. Conft hostname router 1 interface loopback 1 IP address 192.168.01 255.255.250. Exit. As you can see, interface just as immediately after you create the interface loopback interface, it immediately comes up. You don't have to do no shot. We go to interface gig00 IP address 80 80 80 to 255 205 0 and no shot. So we should be able to ping the other side. Let's see if it works. Yes, so we are pinging the other side of internet. Okay, now we have to add one default route here, IP route 00. We are just simulating. So guys, please pay attention to this. So we are simulating the internet connectivity from this point, right? I just want to show you from this point. This point is internet, right? So when you have your edge router in your production environment, and when you want to establish a VPN tunnel, usually you have the edge router and you have a default route to internet. So we are going to do the same here. Router 1, IP route 000, next hop 80 80 80 1. Okay, show IP interface brief. Let's just have a quick check. Looks alright. Show IP route. You have the default route. Perfect. We have to add this default route to our FortiGate as well. So we come back here. We will go to static routes, create route. This is the default already. The device will be WAN. Gateway will be 100, 1. Yes. Administrative distance is by default 10. We will leave it as 10 and status enable. So the default route is added. Now I should be able to ping from my router 1. I'm gonna ping from router 1 the IP address of WAN interface on the FortiGate, and I should be able to ping it. That means that my internet cloud router will transport the packets just like an internet cloud. The only difference in reality is that you have thousands of routers or hundreds of routers in between, but here you have only one router which is simulating the whole TCP/IP stack. So let's do that ping 100 100 101. First I'm going to ping this interface gigabit 01 on internet cloud, and it's successful. That's a good news. And also the FortiGate, and I can also ping the FortiGate. That's perfect. Let's say 10. Okay, so far we quickly set up our lab. We have configured the FortiGate as an edge device, as default route towards internet, and a LAN which my laptop is connected to via a loopback interface, Ethernet 8. And also on the left side I have a CiscoIOS, which is also acting like similar to an edge router with a default route towards internet and one loopback interface simulating the LAN. In next video we are going to start the actual configuration of the VPN. I hope it was informative, and thank you for watching.